Most of you guys are familiar with our bus, and anytime we have to buy any kind of long boards or bulky renovation products, we bring the bus with us and load it up. It works awesome for everything except for sheet goods. Let's say I needed some plywood or OSB. It just doesn't fit in here because we have beds built into the back, and those beds block the door. And we do have a side door, but you can't get them in and turn because the seats and everything. So there's just no way to get a full 4x8 sheet into the bus. So what I'm going to do is try to devise a plan to transport 4x8 panel goods on our bus. I think I'm going to try to make a mount right on the side of the bus and strap them on the side and bring them home that way. So let's see if I can do it. Alright, so we went to the store and I found these. We looked at all different options, all kinds of steel and brackets and unistrut and shelf brackets and conduit, and just then I saw this super strong weight limit. These are made for strapping and hauling things, and these are X-Track rails, and I'll show you how they work, but they're heavy steel, and what I think I'm going to do is try to mount them right to the side of the bus. I don't know if I can do it, but I'm going to try to squeeze one above the windows and one down here below the windows, and you'll see. Am I making holes in the bus?
Yeah.
Is that okay? Check these out. 1/4 inch thick, heavy duty screws. I thought I had two, but when I got up here I only had one. That's why I wasn't sure. So far so good. I got 6 screws straight into the metal framing of the bus. It's very solid. There's framing every 2 foot on center. These are 5 foot pieces. I'm going to see how the next one lines up, and hopefully we can get some good support on that one too. It's a little crooked. Oh, oops. Just hold it away for a moment.
Yeah.
Put a little extra torque on them. Make sure they're good and tight.
Yeah. Here.
Oh.
Done.
Yeah. Now this might not be a totally complete system yet, but my idea is to take these hooks that are made for this track, and we're going to be putting them in there to hold the plywood upright along the bus. And then we're going to be putting straps on here. These are made for holding straps also. That strap, so this will hold the weight of the plywood, and the straps will go around it up to the top track and clip in up there and bundle it against the side of the bus. Ashley's unpacking the straps for the system, and I went ahead and just doubled up the screws. I was feeling a little bit paranoid about losing a load of wood in the traffic, so I went between all my supports and I put another set of screws in between, so they're every foot now. We have 2 screws every foot. And I did grab some good metal, some extra framing that I didn't even know was there, so that's really good. So here's how I think the system's going to work. I have my hooks here. Each hook is rated for 200 pounds. So we got basically 600 pounds worth of weight we can put here. Never gonna touch that with those little hooks. They're locked in. Don't be fooled by the wobbliness. They can't go anywhere. And these will go around, hopefully. And then when you know, it won't be on the glass, it'll be on the wood. It'll lock in. And I got 2 of these. And what's cool about the system is that when we're not hauling plywood or whatever, we could pop these off, throw them in the bus, and we have a normal bus again for the most part. So you're probably wondering why I'm doing all this, and it's because I do have to go get some plywood. I need 8 sheets of 1/2-inch plywood. I'm going to test this out. We're going to see how it works. So here we are in a new day, and last night we went out to the store to buy our plywood and test out our new rack, and guess what? It worked perfectly. I have 8 sheets of plywood strapped to the side of the bus, and we made it home safely. Now, it might not be perfect yet. I might have to tweak a few things, but I'm happy with it so far. 2 things you'll notice, I have more straps on there. I decided while I was at the store to be safe and put another couple straps on it, so I picked up some more. If you only have 2 straps, and let's say one strap breaks, you know, it's rubbing on the edge of the wood, who knows? There goes everything, you know, so I wanted to be safe. And the other thing is the hooks. I swapped out my old double hooks for single hooks. Something I didn't really anticipate that happened was when I ratcheted these up, if I make them tight, it literally takes the plywood right off the hooks. So the plywood is hanging by the straps right now, just suspended. And I don't really like that. The straps were supposed to be just for keeping it against the bus, not lifting it. So that's something I might want to change. Not a big deal. I'm not trying to go on too long about this. Just think it's pretty cool. We try to be innovative to accomplish our goals so that we could do as much ourselves as we can. We really like to be self-sufficient in all that we do. So there it is. Now, I don't want to take these off myself because I need somebody to hold them up. It's not hard, but I just need somebody to hold them up while I take off one sheet at a time so they don't all just tumble off the side of the bus here. But it's as easy as just putting your hand here and just keeping them from tipping over. So I should have asked for help. I didn't want to bother Ashley. I thought it'd be fine. But no harm. Nothing got broke. The system needs some tweaking, but it works. I'm happy with it. So you might be wondering why we're buying all this plywood and what our next big project is. Well, we're still working on our bedroom, almost done doing the final touches, and we're not going to stop that. but we have to start this. And that is this space right here. So this is our bedroom that we've been working on, bathroom entryway. That's where we've been focusing most of our attention. But way back here on the opposite end of the house, we have this little room. And this is actually the first room we started with when we moved in. We gutted this room and turned it into our temporary laundry room, put our washing machine and our water heater in there and a sink. Now there is a plan here. My idea is this. We still have this one foundation wall to do. So that's the only part of the foundation that hasn't been repaired. So I want to get under the house, I want to set new piers, and I want to put a new beam under that part. Once we get it secured, we can start fixing the framing in that room. The framing is a mess. Nothing's on center, it's all pieced together, it's a hobbled mess. It needs to be fixed. We're going to fix the framing on these walls for now, just that one room. So new foundation, new walls. Then we're going to insulate, run power, all that, and try to get walls up. I don't think it'll be a very difficult room to finish, so we'll try to get it done as quick as we can. The walls are going to be tongue and groove boards, just the same as the bedrooms. It's going to be the same process, but this room it's a small room and has a lot of windows. It will have a lot of windows, so I don't think it'll be a very long process to get those walls covered. Now that room is actually going to be our dining room, so nothing really special has to go in there. It's just a basic room. That's it. And that makes it really easy to finish. And the idea is that once this room is finished, and not perfectly finished, just, the basics, we can move stuff out of the living room, out of the kids' rooms, into here kind of like for storage, clean storage, because it's not all going to fit in our bedroom. And once we're done here, this is where we renovate next. So this is the kids' rooms, the living room, and all that. That's going to be a big, big project. So basically, we need to finish this space so that we can have a storage space and a temporary kitchen. Right now we have a kitchen in here, but we're going to be moving it into here, temporary setup. So it's kind of like we have to do one to do the other. They all tie together, and it's just the best way we can work. Doesn't matter, the foundation needs to be finished anyway, and the house can be better sealed in than it is now. So it's just something that has to get done. And by doing it this way, it'll make this go a lot smoother. So that's the plan, and that's why I bought the plywood. The plywood is going to be the sheathing for the exterior walls right here. That's the project that's coming next. Now if you've been with us and following along, you might remember that when we moved in, there was a kitchen in here. Not a very great kitchen, but it was a kitchen. We've decided to swap the dining room and the kitchen. We just decided to swap them. So the kitchen will be in here when the house is done. While it's nice to have a kitchen near the back door and away from the living space, I totally get that. This was not the best room for the kitchen. It's an awesome room for a dining room. Because in here, you can see we have two walls facing outside, and we actually want lots of windows. And with a kitchen, well, it's hard to have lots of windows. You have a refrigerator, you have your stove, range, and cabinets, and it's hard. And the idea of having open walls with big windows that you can put a table in there where we can do school, where we can eat, where we can just hang out and do whatever, that's a great use for that room. Also, it has a low ceiling. And the low ceiling works better for sitting at a table than it does working in a kitchen where you feel closed in. This is going to be a simple dining room. The kitchen, we're going to turn this into kind of a galley kitchen. You'll see that plan later. I'm not going to get into it. It's going to be a small galley kitchen. We don't need a huge kitchen. It's going to work awesome. Actually, we have the kitchen in here right now. This has been our temporary kitchen, and we have our refrigerator, and we have a freezer, and we have our table and a cooktop and a big cabinet, everything in there, and it's been working really well. So I kind of like the flow that it has right now. We'll get into design stuff later. I don't want to get too far into that. So right now, we got all the materials, most of the materials that we need, and I have to get under the house and start setting those piers and getting that wall firmed up so that we can get the walls framed. Now, I can't put sheathing on until I know this is straight and square and level, because sheathing it's very structural, so the walls have to be straight. Then when I nail it on, it holds them straight. So you never want to put sheathing on before you get your house leveled. All right. here's what I got so far. I have this temporary stack of blocks under the floor. I have this jack holding up the corner. The weight is off the corner pier. And I have another stack over there holding up that corner. So we're fully suspended off the existing piers. We can get those out of the way and build our new ones. I'm going to be working on digging. I just want to dig for the new piers. See how that goes. I hope I can find some good footings under there from the original foundation. Good news, we made it down to concrete. There is a footing down here, which is awesome. Whew. It took me a while to get it cleared off because there was some built up concrete on it from the old block wall, but we chipped it all away. It's a nice flat pad, and now I can stack blocks right on it. Having the original foundation in place is going to make this so much easier than me having to dig open instead of footing and level it and everything. Oh, I'm so glad. So now I just got to get some blocks over here, stack up my first set of piers, and I might have to take this down, might be in the way. We'll see, the beam's going to go there. You can see there's no beam right now. They built this room with no beam. They have 2 piers. This room's 12 feet wide. They got 1 in each corner. So 2 piers, 12 feet apart, all supported by a single 2x8. That's just a rim joist. And that's what's holding this whole room. You can see that's crazy. If you know framing, you don't support a room 12 feet wide on a 2x8. So this is going to get a solid beam straight across with 1, 2, 3, 4 piers under it. That's more than we need, but it's what I want. So let me go get the blocks. I'll get this stacked up, and then we'll move on to the next one and the next one. I just dropped my first block in the hole, and I was doing some measuring, and I realized I made a mistake, and I dug my hole about 6 inches or so too far over. Ugh. I gotta dig a new hole this way. Not a new hole, I have to expand it. Back to the digging. I got a stack going. I think I'm going to cut that board out of the way before I do another block, but this is good enough for now. I'm going to start digging my next hole. I'm just going to keep working on this. Not too exciting, digging, stacking, and getting my piers ready. So once I get some more done, I'll come back and give you guys the update.
Wow.
And it's Now this is where things get interesting because this part of the house is the porch and it's lower than the room we're trying to fix. I'm going to be putting a new beam under here and the beam is going to hit this, so we have to cut all of this material out of the way for the new beam. So we're just going to start hacking and get all this chopped out, and we need like this, everything gone. The beam is going to be up here. Who needs a floor? Overrated. So yeah, I did have to cut away my floor and my wall a little bit, but it's okay because now we have room to place our beam. I pulled a string. I'll try to show you. Well, you're gonna have to take my word for it. The piers are in line and straight. Now that I got them lined up, I can take this off. And I got my last block on top. Now we're ready to start core filling. All of these piers have to be core filled with concrete so that they're not, you know, loose and wobbly. That's next. I'm making good progress and it's going actually quicker than I thought it would, so I'm happy. I actually have the beams right out back here. We're all ready to go. I'm gonna get one of those cut, and the concrete we're waiting for. So I can't do any more right now. I ordered concrete yesterday. I'm hoping they can get it here today, if not tomorrow. So we'll see. Some of you might wonder why I'm not wearing my respirator when I'm cutting. It has my face shield to protect my eyes and to protect my lungs, you know. I haven't been wearing that because it broke. I don't know what's wrong with it, but when I power it up, it turns off and starts beeping with an error code. I've checked the filter, I've checked the battery, everything's good. I called 3M, it's a 3M respirator, and they couldn't give me any answers. They said, check the battery, check the filter. That was it. And the only advice they could give me was that maybe a wire came loose inside or the battery contacts aren't connecting somehow properly. And I did check the battery contacts and cleaned them and everything's fine. I'm thinking it is internal, and I just haven't had a chance to open it up and try to diagnose it internally. So that's why I don't have my helmet lately, and it's frustrating because there's so many jobs where I want to be wearing that, and I don't have it. So I just wanted to explain that in case you were wondering where it went and why you haven't seen it. I still like it, it just doesn't work right now. That's it. I think we're gonna wrap it up. Are we wrapping it up? Mm-hmm. So thanks for watching and coming along. And I know it seems chaotic around here. We're always starting a new job, but it has to get done, and we have to work in the moment at the right time, and right now is the right time for this. And some of it is what I said, it helps us move forward, but some of it's just hard to explain, and it's really tied to finishing the bedroom. So yeah, thanks for watching. We'll be back soon with another video, and until next time, take care.
Bye. What?